Kamala Harris has brought forward some key policies, okay? Some key pivotal policies. And I like it. I like it a lot. I said that it was very good last night when I first saw it. She's been drip feeding. She's been feeding all the policy heads. She's been feeding all the white paper watchers, okay? I basically just said this. I said, it's good. Kamala Harris will, on Friday, propose the first ever federal ban on corporate price gouging in the food and grocery industries on Friday. The campaign says in a statement, we'll also announce measures on housing and prescription drugs. Harris vows in the first 100 days to ban price gouging on big corporations, running up excessive corporate profits on food, groceries. Give the FTC authority to punish rule breakers. When I tell you how hard I get thinking about that, I could cut through a diamond right now, okay? I could cut through a goddamn diamond. Do you understand me? Maybe Lena Khan isn't going anywhere, because why the f she do that and simultaneously lean in on the corporate investors that have been begging her to fire Lena Khan? Seems to me like maybe Lena Khan is here to stay. That's what it seems to me like. I like it. Dollar for small firms to compete, challenge mergers, ban price gouging and excessive, all undefined. Okay. My non-comprehensive understanding is the plan will also likely include revival of the child tax credit, policies to expand housing supply, and limits on prescription drug pricing. Now, this is amazing. Okay. This is actually amazing. This is really solid policy. Like, trust me on this. Okay. This is very good. It directly addresses the problems that people are experiencing in terms of inflation for consumer goods, for that you buy at the grocery store. It will make people so upset. It is going to make business owners try to do a Venezuelan style coup. Do you understand me? The Chamber of Commerce is going to try to drone strike Kamala Harris. Okay. Now understand something. Kamala Harris is a blank sheet of paper that you upload policies to. Okay. That's just the way I treat it. So far, so good. Will she actually push through on this? I don't know. Okay. But the fact that she's running on this is really, really, really solid. Okay. Is this possible with a Republican majority in the Senate? Looks like Dems will lose a seat in Montana. We shall see. But no, of course not. I hope that is not the cynical approach that they have to this, where they're like, we're going to lose the Senate, so we might as well just go balls to the wall with our campaigning. Does anyone believe any president alone has the power to do it? In terms of giving FTC more power, yes. So the thing is, like, this part of the process, if you angle it through the federal regulatory bodies, there will be a lot of court cases, obviously, in contest to this kind of thing. But ultimately, you could technically do whatever the fuck you want. Okay, it's just the secret to the recipe here. Yeah, Nixon did it before. Nixon did it before. This is policy that presidents in both parties have done before. This is true. This is a Nixon policy. Nixon heads rise up. Misunderstood Maoist legend. Okay, normalize relations with China, the real China. Price checks, instituted price controls. I'm just saying, the real Nixonian uprising is happening in the Democratic Party. You know, that's just the reality of the matter. Anyway, so what's the generally palatable counter argument? Keep price gouging legal. The generally palatable counter argument is this: it's communism, like literally government price controls on consumer goods. This is where a lot of Republicans will actually show their asses, because Donald Trump is also saying that without actually saying what he will do. But this, after Donald Trump for the past 8 years have primed Republicans with like populist messaging, for them to like very openly swing in the direction of like a Karl Rovian style of politics will actually cause the Republicans to have whiplash. Okay, because Donald Trump literally promises too. Donald Trump yesterday promised this. He just didn't say price controls. He didn't say price caps, right? But he said we're going to slash prices. How are you going to do that? Now, I'll just say it like this. There's a little bit of a whiplash in the Chamber of Commerce, okay? Let me tell you something. On the one hand, you got this dude who spells trouble and volatility, which can actually end up harming some sectors in the long run. They recognize that. That's Trump. So they're like, come on, Kamala. If you listen to our demands, like, we'd love to pump money into your campaign. Okay. Now, here's the thing. On the one hand, Kamala Harris is like, we are doing a proletarian revolution. Price controls are coming. I'm going to give Lena Khan the authority to execute you. Okay. And then on the other hand, you got Donald Trump, who's like, oh, we're going to do 10% tariffs on everything. And then obviously people are like, wait, what? 10% tariffs on everything? That will skyrocket the cost of goods. Like, what the f- are you saying? And then he turns around and he goes, actually, it's 20% now. Like, he literally went from 10% tariffs on all goods to 20% tariffs. Literally, they have no one to go to. Who are they going to vote for? RFK Jr.? Are they going to pump RFK Jr. now? On the one hand, you got Kamala Harris being like, we're doing price controls. We're beefing up the FTC to actually go after price gougers. Great policy. Gets my shit hard, rock hard, okay? On the other hand, they can't go to Trump either because, one, they have a lot of instability, a lot of volatility at play, which might harm them. And also on top of that, he's doing 20% tariffs. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Look how businesses are bribing already. Kamala the cop getting results. Kroger plans to cut grocery prices by $1 billion if his nearly $25 billion merger with Albertsons comes to fruition. Yeah, guys, okay? No, they should not be allowed to merge. If they do, you know what my attitude is. You know what my attitude is, okay? My attitude is this. Let the businesses merge. Let Amazon take over and then nationalize Amazon, okay? Institute communism. I have joked about this so many times over the course of the last decade. And honestly, at this point, that is the only way out of this situation. Okay? Yeah, Walmart, Amazon merge together. You make it a national product. There you go. You now have national communism. You have a command economy. Here's the situation on the drug prices, by the way. Right now, Americans pay 2 to 3 times more for prescription drugs than they would anywhere else, but the Biden-Harris administration beat Big Pharma. Obviously, the part about this is that, like, it's not being instituted yet. A Democratic Senate and House could move the timeline to ahead to enact this. Correct. The point is that it's not happening before the 2024 elections. Yeah, they're going to be happening in 2026. This is why I love when Democrats actually do shit. Like, even if it's marginal, actually putting forward sound policy, because it causes Republicans to openly demonstrate their contempt for the working class. The only people who hate this policy, massive corporations. These are just your standard extremist centrists and Zionists, including old K-hivers who are just attacking anyone on their left. Now that Harris is coming from a position of strength, it's an effort to ignore the left and pro-Palestine protesters. Thankfully, I think Harris is smarter than our bigger supporters. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I look, I'm going to wait and see. Okay. That's all I've been saying. And I will continue saying that. Hopefully that's not just hopium. Things that she's done thus far show that it's not hopium. Remember, when Democrats fight, it causes Republicans to respond. It causes Republicans to present a reactionary counter to the actual good policies. That is a good thing. Okay. Because these guys get to make themselves look like the populist defenders of the working class, right? They get to present themselves the populist defenders of the working class when the Democrats are not doing shit. But once they actually do shit, all of a sudden you will know how they really think. Like back in the day, Steven Crowder used to go and try to yell at union organizers. We now live in a country where obviously the unionization rate is like super low, but the attitude that people have overwhelmingly favor unionization and labor unions in general. Even the Republicans have to like abide by that standard. Okay? You have to remember, like the more the Democratic Party actually move in this direction, the more the Democratic Party moves in this direction, the more Republicans have to show their asses, show who their real masters are, okay? Show who's really funding their, show whose interest that they actually care about. That's it. And it's not the working class. It's never been the working class. MAGA communists can suck my. That's why that when people act like the Democratic Party has the best interest of the working class in mind. It's so stupid. It's never been the case. I'm lowering my mic decibel so it doesn't peak anymore. Hopefully it's not going to peak anymore when I yell. I think you meant Republican. No, I meant like MAGA communists too. MAGA communists are so stupid where they act like there is like a real avenue to be a Republican, but is like pro-labor Republicans, not realizing that the Republican Party is quite literally built around melting the working class. Nah, you said they were trying to be Democrats? Wait, what? I did mean the MAGA communists trying to be Republican.